This is a sphenoid bone. It's another cranial bone, one you need to know separately. It's a single bone, and it sits right here in the skull. You can see it here. You can also see it from underneath. So right here. So I'll give you some orientation. Right behind your back molars, these green structures here, these are called the pterygoid plates, here and here. So it sits like this, upside down. So these are called the pterygoid plates. They're going to be right behind your back molars on the skull. If you look at it, this is how it would sit in your own skull right now. This is how it's sitting. We have two sets of wings. I'm going to show you the superior side, the top. These are the lesser wings. These are the greater wings. So the lesser wings go more anteriorly. So this is the posterior view. Here's the anterior view. It looks kind of like an owl. This dip right here that you see, this is called the sella turcica. Sella turcica means Turkish saddle, so it's shaped kind of like a saddle. This is where your pituitary gland sits, and the pituitary gland hangs down from the brain, so this needs to go superiorly. So again, this is how this bone sits in the skull. And here's your two pterygoid plates hanging down. This bone has a lot of foramina. To remember the four that you can see on this bone separately, O-R-O-S, front to back. Optic, rotundum, ovale, kind of oval shaped, spinosum, tiny. So O, optic, R, rotundum, O, ovale, S, spinosum. And I'll show you these on the skulls that you'll have in front of you. Optic, go under the lesser wing. Rotundum, ovale, and spinosum. Now on the skull, when it's put together, when it's articulated, we have two more foramina associated with the sphenoid bone, here and here. The way I think about them is if you actually sat in this sella turcica, the Turkish saddle, your feet would slide through these two foramina. They're called the lacerum. We have foramen lacerum, foramen lacerum. So they're kind of next to the ovale, kind of medial to them. Now when you look in the eyes, in the orbits of the skull, you see a number of different holes and cracks. The perfectly round hole right at the back of the eye, that's that optic foramen, the O of our O-R-O-S, the first one. Then we have two fissures, cracks. We have a superior orbital fissure and an inferior orbital fissure. Here's the inferior orbital fissure, kind of comes out behind the cheek, right there. You cannot see the inferior on this bone. Superior orbital fissure is right here. It also kind of comes out right under the lesser wing, next to our optic foramen. So here's the optic foramen. Here's the superior orbital fissure. Go back to this bone. Optic foramen, superior orbital fissure. Right there.